Online sleuths believe that Brian Laundrie bought a burner phone to avoid frantic calls from Gabby Petito's family and silenced his own parents by telling them she had accused him of domestic violence. Some commenters on a subreddit dedicated to the case believe Brian manipulated the information he sent his parents about Gabby's sudden disappearance for weeks after she went missing. One user speculated that Gabby's family did not have the correct contact information for the Laundries, so Brian was able to impersonate his parents. As the Laundries began to receive more frantic calls from the Petitos, Brian could have convinced his family that the only issue was his illegal use of Gabby's debit card, according to the user's theory. Even though it seems questionable why Gabby's family would be getting so involved over a stolen debit card, if Brian was truly as sneaky and narcissistic as everyone has been theorizing he was, they wrote. Or if he was just simply good at making up stories and getting his parents to believe him, then it probably would have been relatively easy for him to convince Chris and Roberta that Gabby's parents were just extremely mad about the debit card for any number of reasons. The Reddit user continued that Brian may have fooled his parents into buying him a burner phone for the purpose of avoiding calls from her family. So at some point around this time Brian convinced his mom to take him to get a new phone so that Gabby no longer had his contact information, and the Laundries also contacted their lawyer to ask for legal advice and let him know they may need to hire him if Gabby decided to press charges against Brian. But of course Brian's story began to unravel once news that Gabby was missing reached the mainstream media. Another user wondered if Brian had managed to block communication between the families by telling his parents that he was worried about a potential domestic violence charge. They wrote, "In my mind, the only way they might have been justified in remaining silent and refusing all contact with Gabby's families is if Brian told CL and RL that they had been arguing, and that Gabby had accused Brian of DV." According to the theory, fearing their son had been wrongly accused, the Laundries would have adopted standard legal advice and refused to disclose any information. The Laundries have not been accused of any wrongdoing in the deaths of both Gabby and Brian. It comes as internet sleuths are convinced Gabby dropped signs through her Instagram as she was scared of her fiancé. Some theorized that her blue sky posts, within blue lyrics, were actually coded messages. On July 31, 2020, the 22-year-old vlogger posted 2 pictures of herself on Instagram that appeared to show her outdoors wearing a gray top and white pants. Gabby captioned one post, "In blue da butterfly in blue." In the second post, she captioned it, "Blue his house with a blue little window, and a blue Corvette, and everything is blue for him Ice Cube airplane Whiteheart small blue diamond sauropod." Sleuths believe the 22-year-old was sending hidden messages about her mood, as one commented, "Is she trying to say she's sad?" Another person chimed in, saying, "Blue, as in sad?" Gabby's caption referred to the Eiffel 65 song Blue, da ba dee. Others latched onto Gabby's June 23, 2020 post, where she shared a picture of Laundrie and herself at Soap Creek Stream in Georgia. What sleuths questioned in the June 2020 post was the book Gabby was reading, Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club, which follows the experiences of an unnamed protagonist struggling with insomnia. One person commented, "Interesting book to read." Another person added, "If you look at him and the cover of the book there's some weird irony going on here." Gabby's body was found in a campground on September 19, just a week after she was reported missing by her family. A preliminary autopsy revealed the manner of her death was homicide before coroners said she died from strangulation. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue said Gabby's predicted death was 3 to 4 weeks before her body was found. Gabby's fiancé Brian Laundrie was named a person of interest in the vlogger's murder, but was never named a suspect. He returned to Florida on September 1 alone without his fiancée, weeks after starting a cross-country road trip with the YouTuber, where they toured idyllic canyon ranges and visited national parks across America's Midwest. Laundrie was reported missing on September 17, days after allegedly telling his parents that he was going for a hike in the alligator-infested Carlton Reserve. Cops scoured the Florida wilderness for weeks before finding partial remains, which were positively identified as belonging to the fugitive on October 21. A cause of death has not yet been revealed as a preliminary autopsy came back inconclusive. Laundrie's remains have been sent to an anthropologist for further examination.